Greetings and welcome to COVESTONE. This video will cover in brief the GL financial reporting system and specifically adding GL budget information to the financial reports. We have already logged into our system, as you can see. As mentioned before, COVESTONE excels in a variety of reports. Almost anything that your heart desires, reporting-wise, has been thought of. These reports usually have a variety of functions in them, so all kinds of variations. And if there's not something pre-existing that you want, then typically you would use our report generator to write your own custom reports. General ledger reports, though, are of a slightly different variety, so we have a slightly different system to handle those, and those you can find under GL. To start, we go to the GL chart setup. This will be something that you probably only do a couple times a year or every couple of years. I know this looks a little daunting. Don't panic. It's actually very intuitive. So here you take the variety of general ledger accounts that you want on a report, the rows of the report, if you will, and you group them in some particular logical order with some indentation. And I've done the best I can in this particular example to map these out as I think they are supposed to go, but of course I'm not an accountant. Once this chart is set up, in this case this is meant to be a simple template for profit and loss statement. Once you've got it in the format that you want, then you name it and you save it. And that is the first step. This is, as I said, it's only done every once in a while. The next part that you do to this is the report setup, where this will deal with the rows that are on the report. This will deal with the columns that are on the report. Every general ledger account has a variety of attributes that can be put on a column in these reports. For our particular purposes, we're going to do something fairly simple. So we're just going to use a couple of the attributes, the account number out of the general ledger and the description out of the general ledger. You can define the header fields, the heading if you want, from the default, or else these attributes will populate themselves. Okay, in this particular report, we are going to do a month-to-date and year-to-date cumulative total, both on the account specified and the budget number that we've put in. And those two combined put together the report. The third option here is GL budget maintenance. And here you define the numbers that you want to show up on the budget columns in this report. Now you can go a couple different ways with this. You can have budgets that pertain to all the branches cumulative or a individual branch. And I will show you an example of both here. So I, of course, have already predefined these. We have a drop-down list. It can get very lengthy, but you can just type in a few characters of the description, in this case the number, and it will pop you down to the appropriate place in the listing, so you don't have to scroll all the way down. So 5941 is what I'm looking for. Telephone expense, we select that. And these are the entries I put in for telephone expenses for branch 1 for each of these months. And if we had a all account scenario, which I have set up already, then janitorial expenses. Once again, I'm making assumptions with this company. I do not know that whether they get a single bill for all of their branches or not. And so this would be applied to all the branches as a shared expense and an estimate for each of these months. After you have these defined, of course, you click Submit and you're ready to go to the final stage, which is to actually run the financial report, which is done here at Financials. So you click on Financials and we're going to select the report that we're going to want to run. So this is the chart report. From here, this chart report references this profit and loss statement, and it incorporates these pieces of budget information. And we're going to go ahead and run this to the end of February against all branches, and output is a spreadsheet. We click report. Our system is pretty fast, so most reports that you do of this type will populate in a few seconds. If you're taking longer than 60 seconds or so and still don't see the report, look at the top of your browser here and make sure that you do not have a pop-up block warning. This will usually happen the first time, and you go, oh, I see, and click on that, and then allow that pop up and rerun the report again, and you should see it drop down and automatically download. After a little bit of cleanup, the final report should look something like this, which is a standard profit and loss type of format, as best as I could come up with. The budget columns information for month to date and year to date cumulative have been populated, as you can see here, including our janitorial expense, which was shared across all branches. And so that pretty much covers the GL budget information in the financial reports. Thank you for your time.